àti tẹ̀wọ́ wá sọ́dọ̀ rẹ̀ yá ayò yá kọ́yò mọ́ àlàlà májà káwọ́ ọ̀nà ló fìfò yá ayò yá kọ́yò mọ́ àlàlà yá kẹrọ bàná yá ayò yá kọ́yò.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي أذان الأذى ومن كنا لنا ترجيا لولا أن أذان الله. It is with this I greet you. I welcome you to another episode of Eternal Bliss, the program of Nasrullah Al-Fati Society, NASFAT.
We are welcome, month of Ramadan,
Inshallah, today we have an interesting topic for discussion. I am Balogun Olajide Nuruddin. With me in the studio is...
Yeah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Fauzia Salakosoni, welcoming you to another fresh episode of the program Eternal Bliss. Today, we're going to be looking at our health, inshallah. Nuruddin, am I on point?
You are. Healthy living during Ramadan. Doing justice to this is with us in the studio, pharmacist Sesson Abdel Karim. Salamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
You're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Alhamdulillah.
You're most welcome. Straight to business, because our audience are eager to listen. Health. I think it's a very paramount thing, particularly during Ramadan. How do we determine a healthy person?
All praises and thanks to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the gift of Ramadan.
Alhamdulillah.
Ramadan itself is a period of healthy lifestyle. A lot of evidences abound how Ramadan helps us physically, mentally, emotionally, and in all aspects of our health. How can we determine a healthy person? First, the only way we can determine a healthy person is through physical examination. What we need to know is the health parameters of the person in terms of what is your blood pressure, what is your blood sugar level, what is your BMI, and some other investigations. However, when we look at how World Health Organization define health, that can give us some clues about what it simply means to be a healthy individual. The World Health Organization define health as a complete state of physical, mental, emotional, and social well-being, and not just the absence of disease or infirmity. And that definition simply means that sometimes we can be physically fit, but if someone has mental challenges like psychosis, that person is not healthy. And sometimes somebody can be physically or mentally fit, but if they are suffering from depression, which is an emotional problem, we can't say they have health. So when it comes to health, it's holistic, physically, mentally, and emotionally, and that is what will pinpoint us to an elder person.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. We all know that health is wealth, but especially when in Ramadan, if you're not healthy, there's no way you can even go through the course. And I'm sure before now, definitely we know we are all to have gone for medical checkups to know how healthy we are, if we are the type that you have ulcer and the rest of that. Now I want to bring it down to now we're in Ramadan and we need to keep this our health status to be intact for us to achieve this. What are the do's and don'ts that we need to abide with for us to have this stable health to do the course in the course of Ramadan?
Before the beginning of Ramadan, some of us already have an idea of whether we have some chronic conditions we are managing or we are fit. So what that means is that if you have an history of high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, or any other conditions, you need to check your numbers before Ramadan. That does not mean that those who do not have established health conditions should not check all these parameters to know whether they do. So the first thing is to do, and you can go to any pharmacy to do that if you don't have at home, and you can enter any lab to do all these tests because investigation matters when it comes to the quality of health. The second thing is we need to be prepared for Ramadan, and that simply means that we need to have a plan about our diet, our activities, the quality of our sleeps, and every other aspect of our health, because we often find out that during Ramadan a lot of activities are going, especially our mothers. They are quite busy taking care of everybody, and in the process of taking care of everybody you also need to plan to take care of yourself, so that at the end of the day you won't be left out when it comes to your health. Naturally, Ramadan is an opportunity to improve our health because we reduce consumption of food, we increase consumption of what we truly need in terms of vitamins and minerals. In fact, some families throughout Ramadan, they are going to eat more of fruits and vegetables that naturally, instead of taking food that are high in calories like sugary things, fatty things, they often tend to take fruits. Dates is a good fiber that helps this. So we need to plan our diet. And what do we need when it comes to our diet? We need to eat more of vegetables, fruits, protein, and fiber. A good source of fiber is the date that we use to break our fast. And then we need to consume less of sugar, salt, fat, as well as less of calorie, because sometimes when people eat, by the time they are doing the iftar, they overeat so that they can cover all the food they not eat throughout the day, and that is not good for our health, because what we eat, when we eat, and how we eat matters when it comes to the quality of our health. Then also activities. We also know that during Ramadan, more often than not, people are not as active as before, and we need moderate level of activities. So we need to create time. Sometimes we can work within an environment so that we are not just in a place. And because people are tired, they just tend to sleep, eat, and do prayer. So we also need to balance it with activities. So the second aspect of what we need to do is to make sure that we are active throughout Ramadan. Then we also need to consume enough water. We need to be hydrated, because for many hours we are not entitled to take water, and that can affect our system. So whenever we are breaking our fast, we need to consume enough water so that we are hydrated throughout the period. Another thing that suffers during Ramadan is the quality of our sleep, because this is the period we tend to pray a lot. We do, a lot of ibadah for us to be able to maximize. So, but despite that, we must understand our health and plan accordingly based on the quality of our health, so that we can be able to, to be mentally and physically fit throughout the entire 30 months. Because the essence of Ramadan is not to overburden ourselves just for a few days, but our ability to be able to do the ibadah throughout the day, and that requires discipline, moderation, and intelligence. So we've looked at what we must do. So I think it's time to look at what
we must do.
First, if you know you have an history of diabetes, especially type 1 diabetes, which can be due to hereditary. So it is important to talk to your doctor whether you can be able to fast, but more often than not, it is advised not to fast if it's type 1. Type 2 diabetes is another ball game. You can plan yourself. Also, if you have any heart challenges, you also need to discuss with your doctor. Maybe you just undergo heart attack or heart failure, or you are going through stroke or any other heart disease. It is important to talk to your doctor. And if you are pregnant, depending on the quality of your health, you should be able to talk to your doctor and ask for advice. So if you have any underlying health conditions, before you fast, it is important to discuss with your doctor for you to be able to know whether to fast or not. The second thing we must not do is to overeat and consume food that does not add value to our body. I always tell people that our body is a collection of food. And that was why when Allah created us, we came here quite small. But as we eat, we develop, we grow. So if we consume foods that are not good for our body due to the fact that we are fasting, at the end of the day, we will not maximize the physical, mental, and spiritual benefits of Ramadan. So moderation is key, whether in sahur or iftar. Then we must avoid sedentary lifestyle. That is one thing we must not do. We must not just sit in a place or just sleep 2 hours a day. We must make sure that we are active, we participate in ibadah, and we help out if we can when they are doing as choirs. As our mother cook, we can also help them, and that will make us to be active. And be part. Then also, just because we are doing Ramadan does not mean we should neglect our medications. If you are already on some medications, take them as prescribed by your doctor. So, and if you find out that you are not feeling fine, please reach out to your healthcare professional for advice. So these are some of the things we must not do if we want to experience good health in Ramadan.
Okay, see, those are the things we need to do for us to stabilize our health as we fast in this month of Ramadan. Our guest has been able to tell what kind of food that we can eat. The fact that I want to eat salad doesn't mean I should go and eat every big bowl of eba. It's going to disturb me during the day. I won't be so active. So we should do things in moderation. The program is still Eternal Bliss, sponsored by NASFAT. And today, inshallah, we'll be talking about healthy tips to maintain in Ramadan. Inshallah, our guest is here to continue with us, but you can still watch us on King Media and NASFAT TV YouTube channel. In case you're just joining us, you were mentioning the do's and don'ts. Perhaps Nuruddin, you want to take him on that don'ts that we still have to talk about?
Exactly. Considering activities in Ramadan, people moving from Tahajjud to Salatul Fajr, from Salatul Fajr to their place of work. After that, you discover some people in the interest of Ramadan, in maximizing the benefit of Ramadan, they are going from one tafsir to another. After various tafsir, we have little time for iftar, Maghrib and Isha. At the end of the day, you see our people taking a nap, not even a rest, within a short while, 30-20 minutes, before another Tahajjud. What do you have to say to that on our sleeping pattern in Ramadan? Does it affect our health?
Yeah, definitely it does. While Ramadan is a period of spiritual reawakening, revitalizing, and the ability to serve Allah so much, we must also understand our own individual health. Because we all have different health conditions and circumstances. So what an 18-year-old can do, a 70-year-old may not be able to do that. So we must first understand our health status before we decide to take actions. However, regardless of how well we are, we need adequate amount of sleep, at least a minimum level for us to function optimally. Because it's not about the quantity of activities we do during Ramadan, but the quality of activities we do. While we should partake as much as possible, our focus is how well are we partaking in these different activities. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us sleep as natural pill to be able to revitalize us, in our body, in our mind, so that we can be able to function optimally. And you find out that studies have shown that there is no difference between someone who has not slept well and someone who is drunk. So you won't allow someone who is drunk to drive you. So, and when you are lacking enough sleep, our decision making is not optimal, and our ability to solve problems is not optimal. So why we should strive hard to serve Allah, we must balance it with our own individual's health status and conditions.
Okay, alhamdulillah. In other words, even though we want to maximize the benefit of Ramadan, we should also be mindful of our health, because when we are healthy, we can actually do all this. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Before we move on, you've identified other do's and don'ts. Apart from not sleeping well, you know, mentally, some people they're always thinking, I'm supposed to break my fast with beverages and all that, and because they don't have access to it, they feel like feeling sad about it. What would be your advice elsewise to such set of people who are always thinking about such a situation?
I think the best thing we can do for our mental health during this Ramadan is to focus on what we have, not what we don't have, because the essence of Ramadan is for us to be able to reflect on some of the blessings of Allah. And I strongly believe that we are all blessed. So worry leads to stress, stress leads to boredom, which can lead to anxiety and depression. So, and we also find that during Ramadan, we give to each other. So we find ways to become blessings to one another. So regardless of what we have, as long as we can have that heart to give, that can also bring a lot of joy and happiness to us. So Ramadan is not about focusing on us, what we want to eat, what we want to drink, our own challenges, but our ability to bless others. Even if what you can give is one date, that happiness comes. I think we need to focus less on our own individual problem or challenges. These are part and parcel of life, but focus more on the ibadah, because what Allah used to judge us is our intention.
Exactly.
He does not care about our material things. What Allah wants to do is the intention behind what we give, and our gratitude matters to Allah. And I think which of the blessings of Allah can we all deny?
None.
We are all blessed.
Inshallah.
And we should be grateful for that.
Alhamdulillah. And lastly, relaxing, enjoying in the month of Ramadan. How well can we do this to achieve this without doing something wrong against the tenet of Islam, especially in Ramadan?
I think one of the major benefits of Ramadan is social gathering. So this is not just the time for us to only move from one tafsir to the other. This is also an opportunity to eat and wine and dine with our families and friends, so that we can deepen our relationship. You know, there are so many families that they hardly see each other because of, responsibilities, work. I strongly believe this Ramadan is our ability to eat together during iftar and sahur, to share jokes together, to ask questions about, and to strengthen our bond as family, because families is important in Islam, and social relationship is core of what we do as Muslims. So,
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. We say Jazakumullahu khairan for all you have mentioned. But before we go, still on the healthy living during Ramadan, what advice will you give to Muslim Ummah during Ramadan?
First, we need to know our health status before and during Ramadan, so that we can know where we are in terms of our health. The second aspect, we need to be careful about our diet. We need to eat less of sugar, sweet, fat, salt, and then we need to eat more of vegetables, proteins, fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Second, we need to balance activities with responsibility. The fourth is we need to sleep well. We need to make sure that because of all the benefits of ibadah, we don't deny ourselves the necessary sleep. Then we also need to work on our mental health. We need to focus on gratitude towards this time, on giving, and our ability to grow. And may Allah accept it as an act of ibadah.
Allahumma
Ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it as an act of ibadah and make it easy for us to achieve. We say so much Jazakumullahu khairan to pharmacist Sheson Karim, the founder of Care Health. We say thank you so much for coming on the program and share these health tips with us. May Allah reward you abundantly. Amen. And that's how we have to do it on today's edition of this Eternal Bliss. Don't forget those health tips. Healthy life is very, very important. For you to maximize the benefit of Ramadan, you need to be healthy. So make sure you take good care of your health. Eat well. Don't eat too much. Eat vegetables, fruits, drink water, and inshallah, you will maximize the benefit of this month. Inshallah, we'll see you tomorrow. Inshallah, Fauziya Salakosoni. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To our guests, jazakumullahu kulla khair. May you find Allah ever responsive.
Amen.
Until tomorrow, my name is Balogun Olajide Nuruddin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
From Nasrat, details, sir. At-Takbir, Allahu Akbar.
عليتنا يا أيها يا قيوم على الله Olúwa wahab lana ya ayu ya qayyum.